Hey folks, I'm Qill, and today I'm going to be doing an evoker leveling build because Nightmare is impossible alone. So the first thing I'm going to do is throw on some of my account bound gear here, leveling gear with all the XP bonuses. Um, have a fancy spell power enchant. That's the really expensive one. It scales. It doesn't tell you that it does, but it gives you about 12 spell power at level 1. And then I throw it on my offhand as well, because you're not going to find an offhand item or shield or anything like that that equals that amount of spell power at such a low level. So that's why I use those two things. Later on, level 10, you get Flame Tongue Weapon. Give yourself an additional spell power bonus on each weapon it stacks. And then of course, you have the talent cards for elemental weapons, which increases the bonus by 60%. And then the mystic enchants do the same. You have 3 of them that stack at 20% each for another 60%. So it's kind of a no-brainer how much spell power bonus you get. First with the enchants, and then on level 10 onwards with Flame Tongue on both weapons. So that's all I'm talking about here. Grab the Evoker card, Brain Freeze, various simple cards. They shouldn't be too hard to come by. I don't think I've ever done anything special to get any of these cards. But basically, Missile Barrage, Brain Freeze, Evoker, and Elemental Weapons are important. Archmage is nice, and Spellstorm as well. So here I am grabbing the Personal Nightmare Challenge, which arguably is, you start off with your Nightmare, then you go 2, 3, and then Personal Nightmare. This is the one that gives you the, what is it called, like Nyaloth, the All-Seer mount. Looks like a giant floating tentacle creature. Anyway, so we start off here with our buffs, doing some quests in Death Knell. Basically do everything here. You want to clear out this zone. Initially I was going to completely cut out all of the boring leveling stuff, but I thought, what's the point of making a leveling video if you don't show the leveling process? So I just sped it up, and here we are getting some good synergy rolls. So the first 3 spells I pick up, obviously I want to get Frostbolt, Fireball, and Arcane Missiles. You just spam Frostbolt, and then when you proc Arcane Missiles or Fireball, you use that, and it's pretty much, that's the only thing that you need to do all the way to level 70. So here we are outside of Death Knell finally. Pumpkin. Get our pumpkins. And we're gonna meet Gordo here, do his Gloomweed quest on our way to Brill, which comes up quick here. Oh yeah, bonus XP, so I'm using the Aura of Experience. I'm using 3 XP potions because that gives you 3 hours, and I don't know what situation it's going to take you longer than 3 hours to get to 70 with all of these bonuses. It should be much quicker. I don't know if this is the most efficient leveling path, but for me it works. All of these quests are pretty simple and straightforward to do. There's a couple that are a bit iffy. I always tell people to stay away from casters, murlocs, and stay out of caves, because when you're doing a trial, you get really messed up in a cave. The mobs take off running, closed quarters, you know how it is, you can get swarmed pretty easily. Casters, it's the same thing. If you don't kill anything before it kills you, I mean, you're done, right? Like, you have to be able to kill them before they get to you. If you pull 2 casters, you might end up dead pretty quick. So yeah, we're just grinding out quests, and it's pretty simple. We do almost every quest in Tirisfal Glades. Depending on how quickly we level and what levels we reach, I might go over to the Ghostlands, work on the Blood Elf starting area. But here we are, still just grinding out these quests, and here we look. This is what I'm talking about with these murlocs here. This is a very dangerous area. I remember starting off with my challenge runs. I would often get killed here, but I did not relent. I continued to try and essentially figured out what order to take them down in. Here I paused for some strange reason and watched my health. You can see how very quickly I get hit by a couple of wraths and yeah, 170 health. One of the reasons I love being undead, obviously, the racials, you get cannibalized right here. You can see it working. It comes in great in a pinch. You can use it in combat, whatever. And then the Will of the Forsaken breaks you out of fear, which is pretty important in some places. I did completely lose a run. I was a dwarf at the time because I flipped back and forth with the Scrolls of Experience. Oh, look at that. We're getting the Agamemnon family members killed here. Or re-killed. There's Nissa. Anyways, yeah, I was working on a run, and in Shadowmoon Valley, you have to get those Skethlon commanders' pages. There's 3 notes or something from those bird people. Yeah. Got feared, was a dwarf, didn't have a way to break out of it, ended up running into a bunch, and I was dead before the fear ran off. And that ended my run. So I have learned, obviously, have fear breaking abilities. If you don't, it's dangerous. Undead come with it. Great. One of my favorite, actually, straight up my favorite class to level is, race to level with is undead because of those 2 abilities. Dwarves I like, stone skin's alright, but I mean the humans, they got that spirit bonus. Gnomes get an intellect bonus. There's not really a great racial bonus on the Alliance side, but you gotta switch it up from time to time. So here we are already into the 40s. I always try to get rid of the bad rolls. When you get a spell you don't want, like Eviscerate or Mortal Strike or what have you, when you're trying to be a caster, if you hold on to that spell, it's going to synergize your talent rolls, so you'll end up with more warrior or melee abilities popping up, and if you're a caster you don't want that. So rather than focusing expressly on the spells that I want, I make sure to get rid of the ones I don't want, because I don't want to have to waste scrolls rolling out of things that are completely useless to me. When you get your 3 main core spells for this build, that's all you need, just for the leveling spec. I do have a DPS spec, DPS built Evoker, which uses a bit more spells. There's Pyroblast in there, you get a Molten Core talent, different things like that to really pump out the DPS. This spec, once you get to 70, just as it is, good for 5,000 DPS, that's it. So this is just to get to 70. If you have the cards, the scrolls, I mean, you can turn this into the DPS spec very easily because the roots and foundation is all there. And you can see now, just a few seconds ago, we were in the 40s, now we're in the 50s. Tidying up the last couple of quests here. I usually do this one here, the second last one for the Scarlet Crusade chain. I don't do the last one because after you're done all the quests, it's so far out of the path of questing, your quest hub areas, that it's not really worth it to travel to for the extra little bit of experience. Considering you can take off to the Ghostlands and level much quicker with all of the quests that are so densely packed together in that area. I don't know if we're going to need to at this time. So here we go. There's the last couple of quests in Brill. Gonna go poison a Alliance dude in the basement here. Oh no, that's right, he doesn't spawn, so I'm not gonna wait around. those precious minutes. So taking off now to Silver Moon City, because I want to go finish off the last, what have I got, 6 or 7 levels. And this happens quick, very quick. And then it's off to Outland. And I mean, there's not a whole lot of interesting stuff to see here. It's just questing. I can always go back and, you know, slow down the video for some detailed stuff, but it's only at request, you know. This is the first video I've ever made, first time trying to edit anything, so it's all janky, and I basically just sped stuff up and cut out a bunch of nonsense. Lots of yammering, kind of what I'm doing right now, but it was worse the first time because I was not focused on what I wanted to say. I didn't quite know. So it's just lots of yammering. What I'd like to do eventually is make a bunch of these videos, release them regularly, you know, different challenges, different trials, different builds. Maybe I'll even play Area 52 a little bit, or check out that one of the other servers. I don't know if I will though. But there's a million things a person can do here, and I intend to do as much of the solo content as I can. That's all I've done for the last year and several months now, is just prestige, Mana Storm, quest, you know, somewhat achievement hunt. But ever since about 2008, all I've done is solo. I mean, there was a brief stint in 2010, Wrath of the Lich King. You know, I was in the second, I got the second Lich King kill on the server, our guild. So I mean, I've done the raiding. It was good, but 20 years ago, I was, well, everybody was different back then. You didn't have to worry about being responsible. So you could do your hardcore raids, and that's fine. But now it's, you know, you get an hour here, an hour there. And, I mean, time hits a limit, right? So here we go. We're already done Hellfire. We didn't do too much in Hellfire, just the first 4 quests, I believe, on the demon side of things. And then over here we get our, I usually just grab the Warp Stalkers, get the Alemba Seeds, finish this up. I'll do the Cenarian outpost or whatever that was there. And then Shadow Moon Valley for the last 2 levels. And this is where it gets really tricky when you're in adventure mode. Adventure mode 30, absolute limit for this spec. These everything that you pull in this zone pulls more than once. And here we go. It looks like we're getting ready for, is it this one? There we go. There's level 70 and our personal nightmare complete. So I'm going to try to get more of these videos done. I'm going to try to get my editing practice in. I'm going to try to get talking practice in, and maybe do a stream one day. I think it'd be kind of cool if I get some viewers or anybody interested that wants to watch a stream doing one of these challenges. And maybe I'll even do some really hard stuff so that you can watch me fail. Alright, anyways, there you have it. Like and subscribe if you want to. Otherwise, just, yeah, I'll see you around.